In this video, you will be able to identify polygons based on the number of sides or angles, and you will also be able to determine if a polygon is concave or convex. So let's run through some words, some vocabulary words, so we know what they are. So the first word we have here is polygon. A polygon is a two-dimensional, I'm going to put 2D. It's a closed shape, and it has, let's put the stairs in. It's 2D, it's a closed shape, and it has straight sides. That means it has no curves. So an example of one would be like what you'd see a pentagon, but a non-example would be something that has curvy sides. Even though that side's straight, that's not a polygon. Also, something like this would not be a polygon because it doesn't have a closed shape. The next word we talk about is regular. Regular means that all sides and angles are congruent. It means all the sides are the same length and all the angles are the same measure. A concave polygon means that we have the word cave there, that means that one side or more sides and I'll use the term caves in. So what does that look like? It maybe looks something like this. It would be like a boat. And again, that is a polygon because all the sides are straight. Another example would be like something like this. Notice how it has the one side that's caved in. A convex polygon means that all sides are pointing out. Which means something like there's no sides that are pointing in. The next thing we have to talk about when we talk about polygons is how to name them. So this little handy-dandy chart right here tells you how to name polygons. So we always name them by the number of sides. So we know 3 is a triangle, a shape with 4 sides is a quadrilateral, 5 is a pentagon, so on and so forth. Once we get past 12, we usually use the term n for the number of sides. So for example, it says right here, anything past 12 is usually called an n-gon. And the n stands for number of sides. So for example, if you have a 16-sided polygon, we call that a 16-gon, like an n-gon. And a 45-sided polygon would be a 45-gon. Just use the number of sides that it has. Alright, so the next directions say to identify the type of each polygon, and then we're going to tell if it's concave or convex. So this one right here, the first thing we do is count the number of sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to look at our chart, and that is called a quadrilateral. Now you can't call it a square or rectangle because you can't assume that any of these are right angles or congruent sides. You could measure, but we're just going to stick with the general term of quadrilateral, which means anything with 4 sides or quad. Now, since all the points are facing out, this is a convex. Moving over to our next one, we have a circle here. Now going back to our definition of a polygon, it has to have straight sides and no curves, so this is not a polygon. Therefore, we can't even say concave or convex because it's not even a polygon, so we can't even classify it. The next example, we're going to count our number of sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking at our chart, a 5-sided shape is a pentagon. And because we have this little side right here that's pointing in, we call that a concave. Looking at our last example here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes I find it handy to actually mark the sides as I'm counting them, especially as you get to the shapes with a larger amount of sides. So when you mark them, you know where you started. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you look at their chart for a 6-sided shape right here, that says hexagon. And in order to determine if it's concave or convex, I see that this corner right here is pointing inward, which means it's a concave.